Wise Carl Jung quotes, 14 wise Carl Jung quotes to transform your life. Until you make the unconscious conscious, it will direct your life, and you will call it fate. Carl Jung, the capacity for directed thinking I call intellect, the capacity for passive or undirected thinking I call intellectual intuition. Carl Jung, everything that irritates us about others can lead to an understanding of ourselves. Carl Jung. You are what you do, not what you say you'll do. Carl Jung quotes, the meeting of two personalities is like the contact of two chemical substances. If there is any reaction, both are transformed. Carl Jung, I am not what happened to me, I am what I choose to become. Carl Jung. To ask the right question is already half the solution of a problem. Carl Jung, thinking is difficult, that's why most people judge. Carl Jung, a dream that is not understood remains a mere occurrence, understood it becomes a living experience. Carl Jung. I have always been impressed by the fact that there are a surprising number of individuals who never use their minds if they can avoid it, and an equal number who do use their minds, but in an amazingly stupid way. Carl Jung, a special ability means a heavy expenditure of energy in a particular direction, with a consequent drain from some other side of life. Carl Jung. We cannot change anything until we accept it. Condemnation does not liberate, it oppresses. Carl Jung, the least of things with a meaning is worth more in life than the greatest of things without it. Carl Jung, if a man knows more than others, he becomes lonely. Carl Jung. 11 philosophical quotes by Carl Jung. Nothing has a stronger influence psychologically on their environment and especially on their children than the unlived life of the parent. Carl Jung, I shall not commit the fashionable stupidity of regarding everything I cannot explain as a fraud. Carl Jung. To me, dreams are part of nature, which harbors no intention to deceive but expresses something as best it can. Carl Jung, I regret many follies which sprang from my obstinacy, but without that trait I would not have reached my goal. Carl Jung, where love rules, there is no will to power, and where power predominates, love is lacking. The one is the shadow of the other. Carl Jung. A dream that is not understood remains a mere occurrence, understood it becomes a living experience. Carl Jung, the creation of something new is not accomplished by the intellect, but by the play instinct acting from inner necessity. The creative mind plays with the objects it loves. Carl Jung, even a happy life cannot be without a measure of darkness, and the word happy would lose its meaning if it were not balanced by sadness. Carl Jung. If a man knows more than others, he becomes lonely. Carl Jung, as any change must begin somewhere, it is the single individual who will experience it and carry it through. The change must indeed begin with an individual, it might be any one of us. Nobody can afford to look round and to wait for somebody else to do what he is loath to do himself. Carl Jung quotes, who looks outside, dreams, who looks inside, awakes. Carl Jung.